I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access Television.
And I'm Kim Anderson. I'm the Director of Programs and Grants for Humanities Montana, and I'm lucky enough to serve on the board of MCAT.
We're lucky enough to have her. Thank you for dropping into this November 18, 2019 edition of Missoula Live. And I know, Kim, you have a few things to say about Humanities Montana
just
events.
Some
that
news
is
items.
Kim's daytime job.
Yep, pays the bills.
Right.
So I want to remind everyone out there that if you work with an organization that does humanities programming for the general public, we have a grant deadline. Our regular grants, and you can see it there on the website, have a deadline of December 20th. And you can call Humanities Montana and ask to talk to me, Kim Anderson, and I can listen to you tell me about your project and see if it might be applicable for funding. Also, if you're doing any sort of research in a humanities field like history or literature, political science, jurisprudence, environmental studies, art history, things like that. And then I'd like to ask everyone out there's help. We are going to be launching a really exciting new program in 2020, and we are hiring a part-time community organizer person to help join the team for this new project.
Great.
It's called the Democracy Project. It's working with teens in libraries to help them identify issues in their community that they would like to change, and then to work with the librarian and the teens to do the research necessary and figure out a plan for how to make that change, to give teens a voice in their government, whether it's going to be going before city council and making a presentation. Who do you write the emails to? Who do you write the letters to? So I need a person who's really good at, first of all, who really likes kids and believes in the power of young people, and who is good at knowing how to make things happen, to engage in civic action in this community. So if you're interested, go to our website. There's a link right on our front page with all the specifics about the job.
That sounds swell.
I know, it's going to be a cool program.
Gosh.
And I think we can do some MCAT stuff with it too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are all about participatory democracy here at MCAT. We cover city council, county commissioner, school board, and then 24 boards and commissions brought to you. Boom, gavel to gavel.
I don't know how there are enough hours in the days for you guys.
How do we find time to even do this show?
I really don't.
Well, we do. And I have just a sliver of MCAT news. We have 6 different organizations on our talk show today, so we've got to move along. And it's just this, MCAT.org. Check out our website. Here you can watch programs. If you don't have a cable subscription, you can log on there and watch streams from our channel 189 or 190. And then I'd like to invite those of you that are associated with kids between the ages of 9 to 13. Every Saturday we have animation drop-in between 1 and 5 p.m. It's a $10 fee, $15 for 2. And most of the kids seem to have a really good time.
The kids love it.
It's still going on. Well, now we didn't rehearse well enough to introduce our next guest.
That's right.
Ashley is with Run Wild Missoula, and we meant to ask you how to pronounce your last name.
We got another subject.
Yeah, we just got just out.
Kazart is the last name.
Kazart.
Okay. Welcome, Ashley Kazart.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So I was like casting about for guests, right? And I was thinking about the holidays, and people, if you watch the rest of the show, you'll see Poverello Food Bank. But I also thought, well, what do people do, when they start feeling that they've eaten too much?
Or they're preparing to eat too much, in which case you can be proactive.
So I thought of, gosh, running the marathon. What's the name of that outfit? Run Wild Missoula. And that's how I found you guys.
Oh, awesome.
Do you want to explain what Run Wild Missoula does?
So Run Wild Missoula is the local running and walking club here in town. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. We have over 1,600 members, and our mission is to support and promote running and walking for all ages and abilities.
That's so cool, and I'm really happy to hear you say running and walking, because I'm a big walker. I love to walk, but when I hear about running marathons and things like that, I'm like, oh, I don't run.
No, it's such a great opportunity for everyone to get out and be active, and whether that's walking on the river trail, hiking up in the mountains, there's something for everybody.
It is really nice because you have a number of events coming up.
I'll
Now,
say.
here's one that might surprise people. You know, our show is live here on Monday, November 18th. In a scant 2 days is the last Wednesday beer run.
Yes.
That sounds very healthful.
If there was a wine walk, I would definitely do that.
Well, so it is 1 week early this year due to Thanksgiving. So typically it is the last Wednesday of every month. We visit a different brewery, go out for a 3 or 5 mile run or walk, and then afterwards enjoy a beer or a non-alcoholic beverage together.
That's
Oh,
such
that's
a great
really
idea.
swell. How many people generally would come to the last Wednesday beer run?
Very weather dependent.
Yeah.
So
That'd be
we've
me.
seen as high as like 70 or 80 in the summers when it's really nice. These winter months, we still have anywhere from 30 to 50 people coming out each Wednesday.
Well, that's not
Wow.
scant. I thought
Yeah.
like maybe 8 people would be
Right.
impressive.
Polar
Yeah.
bears, right.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think I've seen Run Wild people, you know, in a group, and it's kind of impressive. It's like how I imagine seeing hoofed animals take to the high street in the old days of Missoula. But just like there's a lot of people, and you can just sense the amount of biomechanical energy in the group.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
pretty
kind
great.
of cool. And it sounds like there's something for everyone. Like you don't have to be a major athlete to join Run Wild.
Yeah.
Not at all. Definitely all ages, all abilities. I myself am not an elite athlete by any means,
Right.
but I still find a great sense of community within the club, which is really awesome.
And if people want to join, I don't know, Scott, if you've shown the website to the people at home. I think it's just runwildmissoula.org.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
And now next week, we have one of the big events that you guys are really known for, right?
Yes, the Turkey Day 8K and 3K Family Fun Run.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, right.
And that's kilometers.
Yes.
Yes.
So
So
I
the
mean-
8K is just under 5 miles, and the 3K
Okay.
is just under 2 miles.
Okay, that's
that's-
not
So
too
it's
intimidating.
very
That's not-
doable.
Now, is that something that people can still sign up for or partake in?
Yes, can still sign up all the way up until race morning. So if you decide on Thanksgiving Day, wow, it's so beautiful out, I think I'm going to go do the free 3K. You can just show up to the race start, sign the waiver, you're good to go.
Wow.
And then the 8K, we do still have plenty of room in that.
Nice.
Where is the start? Where's the starting line?
At the tailgate area at the University of Montana.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Very
so
convenient.
Plenty
yeah,
of
it
parking,
is.
plenty
Right.
of room.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Run Wild Missoula is also going to participate in the 2019 Parade of Lights.
Yes, we love getting our members together and walking across the Higgins Bridge, decorating our banner, handing out candy. It's a great way to kick off the holiday season. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, see, look, even if you're too caught up in the Christmas rush, a week before that sacred day is the last Wednesday beer run.
Every month.
Oh, and you moved
There's
it up
one
a
every
week
month?
early.
Yeah, because
Right.
of the
Because
holiday
Christmas
again.
falls on the
Right.
last Wednesday
Right.
of December this
Right.
year.
Yeah.
Well, and then, okay, there's one other event, and this is a jam-packed 2 months, but
Yeah.
the December Back of the Pack Social.
Yes.
What are those?
So each month we have our Back of the Packers. So whether they're walkers, use the run walk method, or just looking for part of a community to be a part of, they meet up each month. It's similar to like the last Wednesday beer run. It's open to the club or everyone else, and they pick a various location and socialize, and then usually do a run or a walk beforehand of 2 to 4 miles.
Nice.
See, and what people could do with this, you know, there's information we're giving you right now. You know how someone might make, what do you call that, New Year's resolution?
Or New Year's resolution.
You could do it early. Like if you show up for a Run Wild event, either, you know, November 20th, 28th, the 7th, the 11th, the 18th, you would already be doing
Be more
it.
active. You could
You
say,
would
yeah.
be doing the
Check.
So
resolution.
true.
Yeah.
Check that right off.
Done. Well, it sounds like a great way to me to meet new people,
Yes.
to be part of a community, and to be more active. And
Yeah.
I think all of us know we should be more active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Ashley,
for-
thanks.
thanks
for
so
telling
much.
us about
And
it.
everyone go to the website, get all the different dates,
Yeah.
sign
Run
up,
Wild.
join in.
Yes.
Right. So we got tons of guests. Well, who knew? I didn't. So we'll have a
and I better
PSA for you, and we'll be right back after that PSA with our new, who are we bringing out?
Oh, I think we're going to bring out Young and Michael.
Oh yeah, Young and Michael representing Dolce Canto right after this.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Pa?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm gonna play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
At the library in June.
We're on.
Oh, we're back.
Oh.
I guess that's going to be a surprise. So you learn something is going to be a surprise. You'd have to be in the studio to learn what
That's
we
right. You
just
don't know what you're
learned.
going to learn before the camera goes on. All right.
Well, here we have 2 representatives of Dolce Canto. There's an event coming up, and take it away. Tell us about it.
Yeah, hello.
Hi, Hung.
Yeah, we are going to have a concert on November 23rd. That's a Saturday at 7:30 p.m. At the University of Montana Recital Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Excellent hall. I was up there for Pianissimo recently and had to remark on the acoustics in that space. They're just wonderful.
It's a wonderful room.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
really
the
is.
best sound of Missoula, I think. Really
We're doing
is.
something a little different this fall. We often have done a really kind of straight holiday concert, and not necessarily what we would call a Christmas concert, but really more of a winter concert. And this is more of a fall concert with a little bit of a different theme. Young has put together a program on the theme Eternity.
Oh.
And
Interesting.
you want to talk a little bit about all the things that can
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah. What will that sound like?
Yeah, the theme actually.
Well, don't
comes-
go on forever, but
Yeah, yeah.
tell us about Eternity.
Yeah, the theme comes from the idea of having a piece from Latvia. That one is called Mujiba, which means eternity. Then that's something that we really wanted to do. It's something that no other American choir has ever done. So I thought it's great to bring something very unique to this community.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I thought, yeah, that's a theme. The title is Eternity. So I established everything else around that theme because then I thought, yeah, to different parties, to different people, eternity means totally different things.
Yes.
So I wrote like a reflection on the theme. I said, for those who seek out color, nature is eternity. For those who praise, hallelujah is eternity. For those who endure, light is eternity. For those who grieve, time and love are eternity. For those who suffer, heaven is eternity. And last, for those who play, wine and beer are eternity. So we are going to perform those pieces around those little themes and with different meanings of eternity.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And I think it still ties in really beautifully with kind of holiday season that we're approaching and the kind of rituals and traditions that so many of us turn to in those times. And also the whole solstice idea, which is, you know, kind of another cycle. So it seems totally
I think it's
apropos.
a brilliant theme.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Of course, when I was young, I was scared by it. You know, you start out with forever, and then you have ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And when you're 6 and you get into that mantra, there was something about it. I was a little frightened.
Scared. Yeah.
Well, Young and Michael, could you tell people about Dolce Canto in general as well?
Sure.
People can join it, right?
Yeah, in fact, we are having mid-season auditions. We're continuing to expand the choir some. And actually on the 24th, after this concert is Saturday night, and then on the 24th we'll be holding auditions. You can see if there's slots available or sign up online at dolcecanto.org. But we're an auditioned a cappella mostly, but we also perform with instruments choir that's been around since 2001. We're in our 18th season, and the group has varied from as few as 12 to 18 when we were beginning, and a couple different times, and we've expanded as many as 32. A variety of singers, all from mostly the Missoula area, although we have people traveling from the Bitterroot Valley and the Flathead Valley that are currently singing with us.
In the winter.
We have very committed people traveling from pretty far away.
Yeah.
And a variety of singers who are everything from professional musicians and teachers and voice teachers to just community members, people who love to come and celebrate and sing them and play with this amazing power of the human voice.
Yeah, and so you know that don't get scared about auditions.
Yes.
It's easy, but it's basically like a mini lesson. So I'm going to give a lot of mini lessons to people, and I'll just ask you to do different things, and I will probably coach you a little bit. So it's easy.
If one
relax.
If someone watching, you know, said, "All right, I'm really going to audition. I've always meant to, and now this reminds me." Do they bring something prepared, or do they come and you ask them?
No, I'm going to just to ask you to sing some vocalies. So it's easy, and then if you are not doing something well, I'm going to give you tips. So just take it.
Good.
And if someone had a prepared piece, you certainly could bring something prepared.
You have something.
But you know, sometimes it's really just a matter. Young wants to hear the voices. He's looking for certain kinds of obviously different voice parts, but also flexibility. You often talk about flexibility in a voice.
Yeah.
And if people were curious to try out, because you are now recruiting members, one way they could go to the concert on Saturday, November 23rd, and see if they feel like they would fit in.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly
possible.
So we welcome everyone.
Yeah.
And everyone can come to
Always
that.
beautiful music.
No,
We want to mention too, we've got the Big Sky High School.
Yeah, see, I was
Yes.
just about to ask, because I have Nancy Labby's name
Yes.
under here.
So what's the
Sky
involvement there
Blues.
with Big Sky? Well, who are the Sky Blues?
Yeah, they are a choir from Big Sky High School. So
Yeah, it's
led by
it's
Nancy
another
Labby.
auditioned extracurricular choir,
Right.
Sky Blues, and this is part of Dolce Canto's mission, which is to partner with other groups and to share our educational mission to partner with choirs, whether they be middle school or high school. Whenever we travel, we always try to connect with choirs and work with different groups. And so these kinds of collaborations are something we just love to do. So we'll be, there'll be a guest on the program singing a few pieces, and we'll have at least one piece that we sing together. So to get to sing with the high school students.
What
Oh,
a
that's
great
really
opportunity
great.
for
It
that.
really
But
is.
as you know that choir is actually the place, probably the only place where adults and children can do the same thing equally.
Yeah.
That we are striving for the same goal equally, but you don't find such opportunities in other activities in
This
society.
is so true. Yeah.
So it's like if they are taking care of those parts, and the adult men are going to take care of other parts, but they are working totally equally. I think that's
Yeah,
something
that's
important
pretty cool.
to see this opportunity in the community. We don't get much of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. You know, the gymnasium is just next door. Yesterday I was at the gym, and a mom was with her 2 boys, and the kids were just like this big, but they were trying out like every machine, and she was coaching them. I'm like, don't see that every day. But I think you're right. You know, in a lot of shows, the children are just supernumeraries, you know, wandering around, you know, to be decorative. But in the choir, they're all contributing.
So so the high schoolers are going to sing with adults and probably with someone who is 3 times older than them.
Yeah.
But we are doing the same thing equally. So then that's something very important, and also it's good for the community.
That'll be a great addition.
Yeah.
So for people who want to
Yes,
get
we better
tickets
sum up. I know there are a lot of people.
the concert.
Yeah, I didn't research that well enough.
We have 3 primary options in advance, which is through the website, which is dolcecanto.org. You can get tickets online there. And also we have tickets available at Rock and Rudy's and Fact and Fiction.
Oh, that's
So if you want to
convenient.
just walk in, convenience in Missoula to do that.
Yeah.
Day of the show, we'll have tickets at the door. Assuming it's not sold out, there'll be a few left at the door.
Don't leave it that long. It's Saturday, November 23rd
That's
at
right.
7:30 p.m. Dolce Canto's fall concert. It's going to be wonderful.
And I want to thank you both. Young Mao is the artistic director, Michael Marsalik on the board, right?
And I'm a singer
And
as
a
well.
singer.
And a singer.
Have you been there since the very beginning, day one?
Just about day 1. I was actually year 2. I think year 2 was when I started.
Good for you.
Right around there. Anyway.
Well, thanks for coming
time.
by and telling us
Yes,
about
thank you
this
so
event.
much.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
We'll be right back. You guys, who are we bringing out next? Andy
Andy, yes.
Okay.
Western Montana Community Center.
is up next right after this.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.
Simply asking them, like, how are you? How are you feeling? Just say, hey, how are you today? And are you doing all right? Just those little things can help somebody.
Ask them how to listen. For instance, when I'm talking to somebody I love, I ask them, what makes you feel heard?
I had a girlfriend when I was in high school who struggled with an eating disorder, and I knew it because I could see it. And I didn't really know what to say, but I just spent time with her. 10 years later, she told me that that was like what she needed at the time, and she was glad that I was just there and I spent time with her. And so that's really my advice, even as a mental health professional, is often to just be there, love the person, say that you're there for them, just start the conversation, because that's better than not starting.
There we are. We're back.
Oh, we're back already?
I know, it just happened.
Yeah, thanks for staying with us, dear viewer. So our third guests are representing the Western Montana Community Center, and there's Storm Sophia, welcome so much. Andy Nelson,
Hello.
Welcome back.
As well.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you know it. So when I reached out to you, Eddie, I was thinking about Queers Giving. So do you want to talk about the center first? Queers
Absolutely.
Giving. And then there's also a function at the ZAC, really exciting, coming up this weekend.
All right, so first of all, the center, for short, our official name is the Western Montana LGBTQ Community Center. We're located right here downtown on Higgins, 127 North Higgins. And
Old
we are-
J.C. Penney
The
building,
old Penny
second
building,
floor.
yeah.
Yes.
The ancients call it that.
That's
yeah.
right. And we're an open and affirming place for people of all sexual orientations, gender identities, and allies. We hold regular peer-led support groups that meet during the week, a women's group, a men's group, and a group for trans, intersex, and non-binary folks. And we also hold events throughout the year, like we're going to talk about. Our next one is Queer Giving, which is on Thanksgiving Day, and it's designed as a potluck-style Thanksgiving dinner for folks that don't have a place to go or just want to hang out with the queer community. Whether you're queer or not, come anyway. Enjoy the afternoon. Bring some food to share. If you can't come anyway, it's going to be at Burn Street Bistro on the north side of town.
Oh, what great.
Yeah.
That's cool of them.
Right? And if people have never been to Burn Street Bistro, they should go.
They should definitely have gone
It's
already.
delicious.
Yeah.
Get to Burn Street and head to the railroad tracks. You can't miss it.
Right,
On the
you'll
right.
run into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that event.
And what time is that start?
Starts at noon, goes till 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Will the kitchen be open there at the Burn Street, or no, you're going to use it to
We're
heat
using
stuff
it.
up?
Yep.
And,
Yeah,
that's
so they
really
let us
pretty
use their
cool.
kitchen. It's perfect.
That's going to be
really
really
is.
festive. It's a great, warm, inviting space.
Yeah, it
That'll
really
be
is
really
nice.
fun. Yeah. And now, is something coming up even
Yes,
before that?
Yes.
This weekend or next weekend?
After that, in
After
December.
After that,
Okay.
the event this weekend is actually an ISCSM event, the Imperial Sovereign Court of the State of Montana.
Been around for a long time.
Yeah, we are celebrating 25 years, which is pretty awesome. But we have a regular drag show at the Badlanders this weekend on Saturday.
Right.
That's our investiture show, an officer and their gentlemen. It's going to be a military theme honoring our veterans. And that's going to be pretty cool. It's this Saturday. Doors are at 7:30, shows at 8:30, $5. Yeah, it's going to be a fun event, and we'll be just raising money for charity. So
Yeah, the court always raises money for charity, like Toys for Tots, or
Yeah, the event at the ZAC is our gay holiday soiree, and that'll be December 13th, and it's going to be like a little bit of kind of like a mixer party with drag show performances. I'm currently putting together a pretty good cast list from performers from all over the state, which is going to be pretty exciting. Yeah. And that'll be at the ZAC. Did we decide doors at 7?
Mm-hmm.
Doors at 7, shows at 8. It'll be $10. It'll be a nice little, they serve beer and wine there. We're looking into,
brand new,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, is it that performance space with like the really warm wood floor? There's a little stage and so on.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. We just did our first event there that we've done with the ZAC, Amateur Drag Night. We did that at the beginning of November, and that went really well. And they've just got this beautiful space, and their stage can move to whatever shape you want it to be. You can, and it can seat quite a few people. So we're going to see how that goes this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, there's a brand new space for viewers that have not been. The space is located on West Main Street, just next to Missoula Restaurant and across from that office building. You can't miss it. It's the old Studebaker building, as we say.
Right.
And it's undergone like a $4 million renovation.
Oh, it's such a huge
So
community effort.
It's gorgeous. They have classrooms upstairs.
Right,
They've got like
studio space
for artists.
The ceramics is right on the first floor.
They've got the ceramics on the first floor. They've got an awesome little area for kids that you like. And they've got a music studio downstairs.
Right.
It's so awesome.
And the other great thing is how they're partnering so energetically with all sorts of groups.
Yeah.
Like, and so we have this huge array of not just visual arts and workshops like that, but getting to do fun stuff like this.
Exactly. Since they have this beautiful space, they're so excited to be able to partner with us and partner with the ISCSM and other organizations to make some pretty awesome events for our community.
So the details about all three of these events coming up are on the website?
Mm-hmm. Yep. GayMontana.org.
Or the Facebook page.
Or the Facebook
as well.
page. Or the Instagram
Queer
page.
Giving and the Gay Holiday Soiree will be on the Center's Facebook. The our regular drag show that is happening this Saturday, you can find on ISCSM. Just on Facebook, you can look up ISCSM or Imperial Sovereign Court of the State of Montana. You can also find us at iscsm.org. And yeah.
Excellent.
It's all sounding very festive to me.
Yeah, thank you both for taking the time today to come by and talk about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And don't be shy, you know where we live.
That's
Something
right.
else is coming up. Just
Right down
give
the
me
street.
a ring.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, you guys,
All
thanks.
right. Thank you so much.
We'll be right back. Who are we bringing out next?
Who's coming next? Is it Matt? Or Matt is here.
Yeah.
Or Zach?
But he came last.
Zach.
Zach is coming from the Poverello to talk about their holiday needs and activities right after
This
this.
is the time of year.
The hardest thing with mental health is it becomes a spiral. And sometimes all you literally need is a little catalyst to help you to stop.
When I'm in pain or when I'm suffering, like, I have a really hard time reaching out and asking for help.
I know it's so hard to talk about mental health, but when you don't talk about it, you feel more isolated, you feel more alone.
If you feel something in your gut, if you feel something's wrong, you should, talk to them about that.
Sometimes starting a conversation with someone about their mental health can seem awkward, but your support can make a huge difference.
And I think that that's hopeful in those really dark times.
You might not know what to say, but there are a lot of things you can say to open things up.
I know you're going through some stuff, and I want you to know I'm here.
I deal with the same issues as well.
Maybe it's me, but I was wondering if you're all right.
Learn more about how to start the conversation at seizetheawkward.org.
Yeah, they have a Meals
we're
on Wheels
back.
program.
Hey, we're
We were
back.
just commenting on that Missoula Aging
That was a
Services
good one.
Meals on Wheels PSA.
Yeah.
I thought they did a really good job.
Right.
Right. Zach, your last name is pronounced Malden?
Yeah.
Oh, well, welcome, Zach Malden. He's the volunteer and outreach coordinator for Poverello Center.
Correct.
And I naturally thought of it, at this festive time of the year, that a lot of people's minds would go to those less fortunate. Hopefully, they would donate things. And I know from Poverello's Facebook page and whatnot, often you need things like toothpaste, toilet paper, personal care articles, and things like that.
Correct. We have ongoing supply needs year-round. This time of year is a great time to ask for them, and we just budget them year-round. And we like to essentially be able to distribute products for people to meet their basic needs.
Yeah.
So like you mentioned, hygiene products, toiletries. If someone comes in and needs to take a shower, we can give them shampoo, soap, and a towel.
Sure.
So those supply needs are critical. Articles of clothing, socks, hats. We don't distribute clothing, which is sometimes a misconception. It's just capacity. We can't do
Right.
it. We can't store it. But we do distribute outerwear, like winter weather gear that could actually save someone's life sleeping on the streets.
Very good.
So coats, boots, hand warmers, mittens, things like that are critical, and we do have the capacity to distribute that. So.
Yeah, if you've got that heavy down coat that you just haven't worn in a season or two, turn
Now
it
is
over
the
to
time
someone
to
who can
donate.
use it, because those things they're expensive and they're life-saving, like you
Yes,
said.
yes. Our homeless outreach team actually goes and builds relationships with folks sleeping on the streets. And a lot of times they take them support products like that, along with food and other resources, and trying to educate them on what resources they have available in the community that maybe they're not aware of. So that's a lot of times what we do with that winter weather gear.
Good.
Is take it to them directly.
That's
So,
interesting. So that's a way for you to build trust with people who might be a little leery
yeah.
or wary of coming into you. That's a very good entree then to be able to start a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. They do a lot of relationship building with businesses too. The homeless outreach team does. A lot of businesses downtown experience just common problems with people trying to access their resources. Maybe it's a hotel manager and someone's trying to stay warm or use the restroom. Maybe someone's car camping. So they can actually go and educate them on how to handle those situations. Just really, really valuable, and it's a way for our services to kind of extend beyond the walls of the actual shelter. Which, yeah, we just love them. They're amazing human beings.
I think that's such a good point that I think a lot of us think as the Poverello Center as the center, the building, and you go in and there's food and resources available, but you're out in the community.
Yeah.
That's something we probably don't think of.
Yeah. What is it called? The hot team?
Yeah, the hot team, the homeless outreach team.
The homeless outreach team.
Yeah.
And they can intervene, and especially this kind of dialogue like jail diversion and other elements are addressing the idea that if people are socially challenged, if people are what we might call mentally ill, the last thing they need is to brush up with the police. What they really need is someone with a social work background, with a background sort of in more compassion than security in order to engage those people and prevent a common scene from escalating into something that nobody wants. And that's where that hot team seems like they really address some of those issues, you know.
You're right.
So for all of us who want to donate goods and help keep the POV going strong, what's the best way for us to do that?
So you can always come in during the weekday hours and bring in your supplies. You can also call and set up a good time for you. At this point, they're really, really important to us, so our doors are open to the public during the day. Maybe between, after lunch, maybe between 2 and 4 would be a good time to bring stuff by this time of year. And also, like our shelter, we have a lot of programs, and they would not run as well as they do without volunteers as well. So people can donate their supplies. They can also donate their time, which is the reason why my job exists.
Right, you're the volunteer outreach coordinator guy.
You get to work with Zach.
And this time of year is particularly wonderful. People are in that giving spirit. We do serve meals 365 days a year, but we have big special meals on Thanksgiving and Christmas where we need a lot of volunteers. So if you want to do that as well, it's amazing. You can always go to our website, click on our volunteer tab, and it'll give you all the info you need to get started. Thanksgiving is filling up pretty fast, so you better hop on it. But Christmas, details will be coming soon, but it'll be very similar to Thanksgiving, just a nice meal all day long with hundreds of people coming in and eating. So
it's a really
and
good
it is the POV a miracle. Like, wasn't the POV established in the early 70s?
Yeah,
so
it's one of the older nonprofits.
Yeah, it's getting into its 40th year.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it is one way, you know, for people for whom the system has worked. For us who have been lucky enough to kind of mesh into everything and get paid, and it all seemed like, you know, it kind of works.
Yeah.
The POV has been really ingenious at recruiting and retaining volunteers. And people know they feel better when they give of their time and resources. They know that.
It's incredibly rewarding. I interviewed a volunteer the other day for our newsletter, and she was just saying how some of the things that she's observed and embodied through volunteering just trickle into all facets of her life. And now I was like, whoa, that's kind of profound. I'm going to quote that.
Yeah,
but it's true. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt about it. You gain as much as you give when you volunteer. You're going to walk away with valuable stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So
I really appreciate, Zach, that you took the time to come.
It's the holidays. Everyone needs to do what they can.
Yeah.
Get over to the POV. Go on the website. Take a look at everything they need. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. And thank you, dear viewer, for sticking with us. We still have 2 more groups. Matt Lautzenheiser, who's the executive director of the Historical Museum at Fort Missoula, he's going to talk about their lantern tours coming up. And also Jessica Allred is here from the Missoula Food Bank. So we'll be right back right after this.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for 75 years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
This is Bill. He just received his new Medicare card and is following some simple rules to protect himself from fraud. He knows to never give out his Medicare, Social Security, or bank number over the phone. And this is Nancy. She knows that to detect any problems, she always reads her Medicare summary notice or Medicare Advantage EOB to make sure the billing is correct. Both Bill and Nancy know that anything suspicious can be reported to Montana SMP at 1-800-551-3191.
Yesterday.
So we just did.
We're back.
We're back with Matthew Lautzenheiser. He is the executive director of Historical Museum at Fort Missoula. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you guys for having me again. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
You guys always have so much going on, and you were just telling us before we came back that you had a really successful event yesterday.
We did. We had our annual holiday open house yesterday, and it was a little early for it, and the weather wasn't perfect, but we still had a nice crowd out. We do this every year. It's usually the weekend before Thanksgiving, although with Thanksgiving falling so late this year. So, but we have a brand new holiday exhibit that we put up, and we kind of debut it that day, and it goes through into January. This year we did something called the Return of the Light.
Oh.
And it was so it was vintage Christmas lights. But one other thing we're really pleased to be able to do is we reached out to some of the other holiday traditions in Missoula. So we reached out to Har Shalom, and we had some panels on the celebration of Hanukkah in Missoula. So it was just really a kind of a neat way to engage different areas of the community and kind of remind people that it isn't just Christmas we're celebrating. There's a variety of different holidays and a variety of different folks here in Missoula.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
good for you.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be open and available to the public throughout the holidays.
It is.
And what a great thing to do with your family when you're, looking to get, stop fighting over the television and let's go.
Yes. Yeah. I
That
know
sounds
with this one we had crafts for the kids. We always have, and it's always a free public event too. So it's just a lot of fun, and it's a great way to it's kind of our almost the end of the year kind of winding down, but a great way to still engage the community even when the weather starts to turn.
Yeah, yeah.
And Scott, could you show their Facebook page? Sorry, I didn't put it up. I put up the website.
That's okay.
But on the Facebook page yesterday,
There we go.
I saw
Lots of
some
good
pictures
pictures.
from the event. Oh yeah, there we are. And then I think if you go to photos, you could see, some
I
of
think
those
I see
pictures are from
Santa.
Yeah, Santa did make an
I
appearance
think
yesterday. Yes.
Santa was in town early.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and there was a
always
craft table picture. I think it might be the next one, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's Stan Cohen,
That's
isn't
Stan
it?
Cohen. Yes, we actually had Stan Cohen was out signing copies of his brand new book yesterday too.
Oh my gosh.
It's
That's
kind of a
really
little bit everything for that, but it's a fun event.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was thinking of the lantern
Yes,
tours coming
that's
up.
coming up. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have been out for a lantern tour. We should definitely
I
get you out
watched
for
the
one.
video.
Okay,
Ron
you saw
went
the
out
video.
and made
Yeah.
the video, but that's not the same thing.
No, it's so much fun. It's one of my favorite times of the year because, as a museum director, you do a lot of the administrative tasks for things. But, my background is I'm a historian, and I love to read and write about history. So it's the one time a year where I get a chance to research an original program and actually write the program myself. And essentially what it does is it's like seeing a play, only instead of scenes taking place on a stage, each scene takes place in a different historic building. So the buildings are, the scenes and the history being told is all grounded in fact, grounded in the use of that building. We have scenes that take place in one of our depots, in the Grant Creek Schoolhouse, in our trolley barn, in St. Michael's Church. And each one of those scenes, we introduce it. We have a guide that goes along, and they introduce and they tell you what year it'll be when you step inside the house, and you step in and see a short vignette about the celebration of the holidays.
Oh, it sounds
That's
like
really
a
great.
real
And you wrote it.
immersive.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
It's like I said, I love it. It's so much fun.
So it's different every year?
It is. We change it every single year. We pick the different years and different characters. We have a cast of all volunteers, and they work really hard to learn all their lines,
Yeah.
and they do really a great job with it.
Oh, this sounds fabulous. So when are they happening?
Sure. It's going to be December 6th, 7th, and 8th. So it's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we do a 5:30, a 6, a 6:30, and a 7 p.m. tour each of those 3 days. And tickets are available. They're going to go on sale on November 21st, so just this week, and they'll be available through our website, which is www.fortmissoulamuseum.org.
That sounds great. I want to do this.
It
I
is
can't
really
believe
cool
I've never done
from
that.
the video I saw.
Another fun thing is it's very interactive. So
Yeah.
one of the cool things we do with it, yes, you're seeing a scene, but the visitors are part of the scene. So this year we're actually going to have them sing in a couple scenes.
Oh.
We've got a poem they're going to help recite, all sorts of fun stuff.
And I mean, you're there, part of the set.
You
You're
are.
you're walking into a room and something's going to happen.
Exactly.
That's so
exactly.
cool.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
so
like if it were like art school, they call it site-based performance art.
Okay, there we go.
You know.
See, I'm doing something I didn't realize.
Yes,
it. Yeah.
it's site-based performance art, very cutting
Yes,
edge,
very-
cutting back.
Yes.
That's us at the museum, right? Yeah.
It is kind of true, that other examples are stories and stones.
Yep.
Where people tell
Yeah.
the
Which
story
has been
right
a-
at the grave
A
site.
classic
Yeah.
in Missoula for so long.
And the,
yeah.
and the new push for Unseen Missoula,
Yes.
where you go on those tours downtown.
Yeah.
Well, this has got all the romance, but maybe more.
Yeah.
Because you're out at the fort, the buildings are a little more separated. There's a kind of quiet about it,
And it's being at the fort at night too, which is
Yeah.
another interesting thing
That's
because
right.
you're walking. The reason it's called lantern tours is we have the guests carry lanterns with them.
So romantic
And so
is
it's
right.
when it's seeing the
Very.
whole fort in a completely different light,
Yeah.
literally, than you
That's
would
true.
normally.
I've never been there except during the day.
Yeah, yeah.
So that'll be fun. Thank you for
It's a lot of
telling us
fun.
about it.
No,
We'll
like I said, I'd love to have you guys
Super.
out.
So December 5th, 6th,
6th, 7th, and 8th.
6th, 7th, 8th. Sorry.
Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
Yep.
6th, 7th, 8th. Go to the website, get the tickets.
Yep. Tickets on sale November 21st.
That's great.
Because it's into May, it's not like a huge crowd, so you got to go get the tickets because they sell out.
So each tour is limited to 20 people,
Yeah.
and we have
that's
sold out
special.
all 4 years we've done this. This is our
Yeah.
5th year, and we've
Right.
never not sold a tour.
Okay, so
we're
don't-
hoping
So
to keep
dear
that going.
viewer, make haste to the
Dally.
Historical Museum website.
Right.
Yep.
And then just the credit card, as usual, everyone knows how to do
they can
it.
register through the website there. Yep.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, we'll see you out there for that.
No,
Yeah.
that would be great. Thank you
Thanks
so much
so
for having me
much,
today.
Pat.
Yeah, you know it. And our last guest, Jessica Allred, she is with the Missoula Food Bank, and we're going to talk about some holiday food bank needs and activities right after this.
No text, no call. Nothing is worth losing a life over. Put it down. It can wait.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessie Page and I'm a 19-year-old YouTuber from New Jersey. Growing up, I had severe social anxiety and I definitely have faced a lot of isolation from it. I personally isolated myself. I was put into special treatment and I had an aide growing up and I was always just known as the kid that needed an aide and couldn't be alone. I think most people that go through social anxiety will relate to me when I say that it can't always permanently go away and you're always gonna have relapses in certain forms, but I definitely feel like I have a lot better control over it, which I'm just really proud of myself for. It can seem incredibly awkward to talk about mental health, but I encourage everyone to really start the conversation. One of the most important things with friends, trying to help out other friends that are going through anxiety is to make sure that they know that they shouldn't be ashamed of this thing and you shouldn't treat them as if they're like a special case. Definitely don't let it seem like it's something crippling. Just reiterating like it's okay and like it's going to be okay is even so helpful. Make it a point to like share your intentions. Like, hey, I just want to talk to you about this because I care. Because I want to see you happy. Because I want to see you do your best. I think just letting people know your intentions is super important.
We are back with Jessica Allred of the Missoula Food Bank. Jessica, thanks for waiting to be on this show.
Oh, yeah, it's a long day today.
Yeah.
A lot of good folks, though.
I know.
Yeah.
This is the time of year.
Our green
you know.
room is always so lively.
That's right. Yeah.
So I thought of you and the food bank, around the festive holiday season.
You bet.
And, you saw Zach was just here from Poverello. So I wondered, where the food bank was in terms of need, and also to remind the public that you're there. Either in case people have too much and they like to share, or they have too little and they like to visit the food bank.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think that for a lot of families, like that oscillates, right? Where some families will come through our doors and say, last year I was donating, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And so, we're heading up to the big November holiday, and we are definitely in need of turkeys and the traditional holiday foods.
Cranberry in a can, the only time of year people
the only time of year it's special. So holiday foods are really great, but this certainly is the time where many people are thinking about what they might give back. And our food bank is last year we helped 1 in 5 people in Missoula County.
Yeah. Wow.
At least one time. Over 26,000 people walked through our doors in 1 year, and that's unduplicated people, so different folks. And we're always in need of a lot of different things, right? This is food drive season is what we call it.
Can the cats.
Can the cats? Yes. Can the cats.
Hearing that on campus
Right.
all
Good,
the time.
good.
Yes.
We love to hear that. So that's, our friendly cross-state rivalry with Bozeman. We're working to outraise their community. Our goal this year is 406,000 pounds, 406. See what we did there?
Clever, but
And that
ambitious.
is, yes, ambitious for sure. Last year we were just under that. It was 403, and that is both financial contributions and it's food. So that really adds up from a lot of different people, a lot of different donors, and a lot of different donation types, right? So that's the university's big drive for us. And then going into December, we have our big holiday drive. So
Yeah, that's right. And if people don't know, the food bank in its new carnation is relatively young. They're on Wyoming Street, just a little west of Home Resource on the north side. You can't miss it.
Right.
And there's a very interesting new facility there. I wonder if you'd like to talk a little bit about Empower Place.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to. A couple years ago, we changed our name from Missoula Food Bank to Missoula Food Bank and Community Center, and that very much is what we are working to achieve every day in that new space. Empower Place is this magical space that it's an on-site child learning center. It is one part science museum, Spectrum Discovery Area is a partner, one part library, so Missoula Public Library, and one part nutrition centers. So we have free meals there every day. It's free for all families. We do not believe in siloing people who might be needing a little extra help. And so open to everybody. We have weekly after school activities. We have drop-in stuff all the time. Twice a week, Pam and the children's librarians come over and do Tiny Tales. Pam is great. She has a following.
Oh, yeah.
For dear viewer, Pam is a beloved head children's librarian at Missoula Public Library.
And we were lucky enough, the Humanities Montana and the Montana Center for the Book were able to honor the partnership between the library and Empower Place and give them some prize money that will help them continue that activity.
You bet.
And that was the first I had learned about it, and I was so impressed that my program officer, Sam, who has a 1-year-old and lives on West 9th Street, has just started going over there with her son because it's such a great place.
Yes.
And he
Isn't
loves
that
it.
swell? And I think it reflects something that I almost think everyone watching could agree with. Being poor is not a crime.
Yes.
Right,
Being poor is not a crime.
You bet.
And that the people are worthy of dignity and care, and that when groups come together, you can do a really good job of doing that.
Yeah.
Library, Spectrum, Missoula Food Bank, and Community
And
Center.
Community Center.
Sorry I let that
You're
off.
fine. No.
And along
it's
that
long.
vein, what about Partnership Health Center?
Yes, Partnership Health Center. We are so excited. Lori Francis and her team over there are, we speak a lot of the same language. So similar to what you were just saying, Joel. We have a lot of the same values, and want very much to be able to partner in what we're kind of referring to as place-based services, right? So families being able to come over to the food bank for a lot of different reasons, right? So you could be volunteering, you could be going to a behavioral health appointment, you could be coming to Empower Place, you could be coming for all sorts of reasons, which breaks down stigma for families who may have a hard time coming in. And it makes this space, the word dignity that you used is exactly that. That's what we try really hard to do every single day.
And if people are watching, and they feel like, oh, I've never been, I'm so ashamed to go, and so on, please cast that away, It's like a supermarket to a degree.
Yeah.
It's really fancy, but it isn't. It's a very welcoming, well-ordered, beautiful space. You've got a Stephanie Frosted mural, for God's sake.
We do. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Yes. Absolutely. We do hope that people feel welcomed when they come to our facility, and that issue of feeling nervous or feeling ashamed when we need something, a little bit of help with something that everybody needs, right? Food is this basic need, universal, everybody needs it.
It's hard to ask for help.
It's hard to ask for
And even healthcare from time to time. People need it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something that we're also hoping to kind of bridge some gaps there with having Partnership Health Center. We'll have family practice there, we'll have behavioral health, and then kind of some roving dental to start out. And so dental
which is a huge
is
need.
huge.
Yes.
We reached out to our customers when we were starting to kick this idea around, just asking, hey, would you use this? And like, what would be most helpful? Resoundingly dental came back. Like, people are just...
Oh, yeah.
It's a huge need. So we're excited.
Yeah. Things are really cooking at the
Yeah.
Missoula Food Bank and Community Center.
This whole movement of organizations, more and more different organizations in town partnering together and working in a really holistic way is so makes so much sense and is obviously bearing fruit in lots of different ways.
You bet. We have been so happy in our new space. We're so excited for the new library where MCAT is coming into this kind of a co-location.
Yeah, the trend is supposed to be, and I think it's a good one, collective impact.
There it is. Yes,
that
those are the words.
Come together and say, how can we solve these complex social problems? And for instance, the Missoula Food Bank and Community Center has demo kitchens where people can learn to cook bulk food that could go longer and be healthier than needing to buy, food that has less preparation time, because people were never taught how to do that.
Right. No, there's lots of different things that go into creating a social problem, and you can't just solve it with one approach.
With just one approach.
Right.
Well, Jessica, how much time? 3 minutes? Okay.
So for people, so people, going back to people who want to donate.
Yes.
Because 'tis the season. Website, how to access all of that.
You bet. MissoulaFoodBank.org is our website.
Got it up
What
there.
a great slogan, too.
We nourish community. I love that.
And we always love to see our neighbors. So if you want to stop by, 1720 Wyoming is our new facility. Drop by a donation of food. Come check out our volunteer programs. Come check out the kitchen. Lots of different things. You can come in for lots of different reasons, and we're always excited.
And see Empower Place,
and see Empower.
If people are watching and they're wondering, what are they collective? What? One example to see where groups are coming together, again, is the Spectrum Science Discovery Center, Missoula Public Library, and Missoula Food Bank Community Center.
Yep.
Really, that space is so beautiful and inviting, and kids will have a great time in there.
Oh my gosh, the whole family. We have this remarkable, it's called the ball wall. It works on vacuums and all of these crazy airflow things. It's manipulatable. I think that the adults enjoy it just as much
I
as
was going to say, it must be fun for you and everyone who works there to be in this great environment.
Oh my gosh, it's the best. You bet. Like the people we work with, the people we get to see every day, our volunteers, our customers, our staff, we've just got a really cool space. So
and it's enlarging now with the Partnership Healthcare. That's wonderful, wonderful news.
Yeah.
Well, Jessica, thanks again
for coming.
We're so grateful for the invitation.
You bet.
And thank you, dear viewer, for watching this installment of Missoula Live from November 18th. We'll be back again on December 2nd.
It will be December next time.
Yeah, it will be December when we're back. This time flies, as it has for the whole show.
I know.
And as always, if there's a group you'd like to see them on this program, give us a call at MCAT. The number's 542-6228. For MCAT, I'm Joel Baird.
And I'm Kim Anderson.
And we'll see you next time.